Hi, I'm Ross, lifetime natural bodybuilder, and in this short video I'm going to review the new meal replacement product from HUEL Hot and Savoury. So it's quite unique in that the flavours are savoury as opposed to the usual sweet offerings. The texture is also different as well. You could perhaps consume this with a spoon or a fork from a bowl as opposed to drinking the product. So I've been using HUEL products now on and off for a few years. I think they're pretty decent, quite affordable. Also a nice short ingredient list, which is always good, and gluten and dairy free, which is great for me. I don't consume any dairy. So it's something I'd recommend fairly frequently. So without further ado, we'll get into the review. I'm not going to waste any time. So I'm going to look at the pricing and stats to begin with. What do you actually get for your money? There's a big difference between the price of the hot and savoury versus the regular HUEL. So for the HUEL Hot and Savoury, it's £54.99 for a one-off payment. You get 3 bags, 7 meals per bag, so that's 21 meals total. Each meal is about 400 calories, and that works out to £2.61 per meal. You compare that with the regular HUEL gluten-free, which is typically the one that I would get, and it's a £55.56 one-off payment. You get 2 bags, 34 meals, so it's 17 meals per bag, and that works out to £1.63 per meal, so about a pound cheaper for the regular HUEL. If I were to consume one of the hot and savoury portions each day, say for lunch, within a 21-day period, the entire batch would have finished compared to 34 days for the regular HUEL product. Over, say, the course of a year, this is going to make a big difference in terms of the pricing. What you're really paying for here is convenience. It's still a lot cheaper than your typical kind of meal prep options, which would generally be around £4, £5, £6, £7 a portion. But again, they contain real meat, which this doesn't, so it should be a lot cheaper. Macro breakdown of the product is fairly good. It's quite balanced with 12 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbohydrates, 14 of which fibre, and 23 grams of protein per portion. So it's quite balanced. What you're paying for here is really convenience, as it only takes 5 minutes to prepare. In terms of taste and texture, I'd say it was pleasant enough. I had the tomato offering, which was quite nice. It tasted healthy, wholesome, nothing artificial tasting about it. I could taste the individual elements and the vegetables. Texture, if I'm being kind, was like lumpy soup. If I'm being unkind, gruel or slop. Not the best texture, to be honest, and I can see the appeal of it going away in the summer when generally the need for consuming hot food diminishes. Another thing that I should mention is that it really didn't feel like 400 calories. For me personally, it felt more like 250 calories. I mean, all the macros are there, don't get me wrong, it just didn't really satisfy me. That could be a good or a bad thing. But I think for me, someone that generally wants to eat more than the average person, it's not really a product that I would recommend wholeheartedly. I think the price needs to come down a little bit as well per portion. For me, I need to be, spending at least 50p less per portion for me to consider it long term going forwards. That being said, it's a fairly good product. It's healthy, it's convenient. But yeah, for me and for my goals, which is to have something as a supplement to a diet which is based on whole foods, healthy foods, then there are better and cheaper products on the market, like the traditional HUEL powder. Don't get me wrong, it's a great product. It's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, £2.61 per meal. It's got one of the shortest ingredient lists that you'll find. There's nothing artificial in there, all good stuff. And in terms of price per meal, it's a lot cheaper than some of the prep options, which are consistently over £6, sometimes in excess of £7. So it's competitive, but you've got other products as well that are marketed towards a health conscious audience, like there's John West tuna salad pots, which are really nice. I've had those in the past, which, yes, they're not gluten free. They do contain a certain amount of sugar and whatnot, so it's not as healthy as the HUEL Hot and Savoury, but it's still a fairly decent product. And sometimes you can pick these up for £1.50 on deal. So I think they need to bring the price down, to be honest, for it to be as competitive and as popular as the regular HUEL shakes. But overall, I think if you're not really interested or can't cook, won't